by now. Welcome back, guys. It's time for another autocross stream. I'll try to cover as much of this for you guys as I can here. So I guess we do a quick walk through what's in the paddock right now. I don't think anybody's really left yet, so we should be able to catch everything this time. You know, I just realized my hand is covering my mic, so I don't know if you could have heard any of that or not. This is points event number 3 for Southern West Virginia SCCA. I'm gonna do a quick walkthrough of the paddock over here, and then we'll try to watch some of the runs the guys are having. I got a little bit of a late start this morning, so we're on the second run group of the morning runs. So we'll be able to catch the first group again here in a little bit. But for now, let's go ahead and walk through and take a look at what all's here right now. So we'll switch sides. A couple cars parked out in the back here. Probably mostly cars and coffee type stuff. Got a GTA, WRX over there, GTI. That WRX STI is Thomas Moss's. My car's as wrinkly as always. So, another visitor out there. Looks like a Dart, maybe. Yeah, we'll take a quick walk through here. This is like Corvette Central today. Plenty of them out here. This club's got a lot of Corvettes, and a lot of them seem to be pretty regular. Most of them travel up from Charleston, which is about an hour-and-a-half drive from here. There's the Porsche sitting up here a little bit earlier. I did not realize that had an Auto Assets plate on it, so it's cool. Definitely well, yeah, there's your PCA Audi Club. Definitely a track car. The FRS sitting over here. I don't know, we kind of walked right past the Corvette sitting over there. Got a Challenger, Z28 Camaro, another Z28 Camaro, I believe. Boss Mustang. A little bit more around the paddock right now. Jack's out on course right now. Squeeze in between here. Miata over here is kind of an interesting car. I don't think it's driving today, but this car's actually had an engine conversion. It's got a VR6 out of a Volkswagen in it, and then this fastback top that's on it, from what I understand, I believe the guy's made. So, it needs a little bit of trimming up yet. I'm not sure what he does for his gas flap. Pretty much have to take the top off in order to get gas in that car. I got you guys a very good look at what was underneath the hood there. It's definitely turbocharged as well. So, I don't know if that's, I don't believe that's standard for the VR6. I don't think the VR6 is standard turbocharged. Yeah, we'll get up this way a little bit, and maybe we can get, there's another Corvette hiding over there. Catch a few of the morning runs here. This session just started here, I don't know, maybe 10-15 minutes ago. So everybody might be on their second run or so by now. There were 16 entries for this event, so really low on attendance. It happens, right? But just kind of means these guys are going to get a lot of runs in today, I guess. I'm actually surprised that old body moved that quick.
For the 65776. Up next, we got this flower.
Anybody's in the area and is eyeballing that Miata. I think they had $2,000 on the sticker for that thing. Pretty banged up looking little fella. Might make a track toy for somebody though. what's going on, Savvy? Hopefully audio is coming through okay. And hopefully the quality is a little bit better. I've switched programs here, and hoping the quality of the stream looks a little bit better, but I'm not going to know until after today, and we get everything kind of played back. Good, that's awesome. Because I'd seen somebody else use this program on their phone. I need to get a gimbal too, so I can stop shaking around as much. But I saw somebody else use this program on their phone, and I thought it looked a lot better than what my stream had. So that's good. That's kind of what I was hoping for. I don't know. Learns and tweaks as we go here. I mean, we're on what, maybe the third mobile stream we've done here so far. So I'm figuring things out as I go here, I guess. The other thing I like a lot more about this too than the actual Twitch app on mobile is that I don't have as much of a overlay for chat, so it's a lot easier to center up whatever's going on here in the middle of the frame. So that's pretty cool. Hard time getting that thing to maneuver through all this. Got Mike Salser out on the course there. It's a Z28 Camaro. I'm not sure exactly what his title is, but he's got to be something along the lines of like club chair or something like that. Corner down on the end there's really good at stopping all the cars that come through. Savvy, if you're still there, is your internet connection doing a lot better too? Or hopefully you're getting a little bit more, hopefully you're able to see a little bit less of a slideshow. It's about, I think that the high we're supposed to see today is either 86 or 87, so it is quite warm. It's going to be very nice for where you're at, I'm sure, but it just downpoured yesterday, so humidity's kind of high right now, but yeah, it's a real nice day right now. Earlier this morning it looked like it was going to try to rain again, but it looked like it was wasn't supposed to, so I wasn't expecting it, but I did not bring Nelson with me. I didn't know how well he'd like all the car stuff going on out here, and then on top of that, I mean, I've got to worry about trying to record, and sometimes I have to hop in with some of the novices and get them around the course if they're having trouble finding their way through, and I end up getting fairly involved here, and it's just kind of hard to watch a pet at the same time. I was talking earlier about it. I guess we have a roster of about 16 cars that signed up for this, so there's 2 groups of 8. So there's when you run 2 groups, as far as autocross goes, you run one group and then you're working the others. So I mean, there's not a whole lot of people around to kind of help out with keeping an eye on the dog either. So I had to leave him behind. Sad boy. I don't think he was super happy when I had to leave either. Which sucks. It makes it hard. Fine, next time I'll decline to answer. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hate that I have to leave him behind like that. Oh, are you talking about him being sad that I had to leave him behind? Probably that part. This must be the Corvette group. A lot of passers-by stopping to watch too, so at least the event's getting a little bit of attention that way, I suppose. We're still streaming at 720/30. Kind of wondering what my data rate's going to look like here. Probably going to burn up a lot more of it. Maybe that's why the Twitch app had a lot lower quality video coming through, a lower bit rate. I'll have to stop after this first section here and see how much I've used. Probably going to have to just suck it up and up my internet package here before long and stream that way. Hey, what's going on, Cheetah? Good morning to you as well. Should be about, what, noon your time? Or no, it's about 11 your time. Yeah. I am okay. It's getting a little bit warm out, but I think we'll be all right here. Tried to dress for the occasion. I was an idiot though, and I forgot sunscreen, so I'm probably going to end up coming back a little bit red. I don't think I'm going to stay out here all day, but we're going to catch maybe one or two of the run groups here. Hey DRS, what's going on? And thanks for the host, Cheetah. Lost the car. There it is. It's kind of bright out here, so it's kind of hard to see. Like dark cars against dark backgrounds, kind of easy to lose. I was just saying earlier, I need to get a gimbal. A little too much gas coming out of the corner there. Appreciate you hanging out, Cheetah. Food is very nice. I still need to grab food, yeah, but we're supposed to be breaking for lunch here before too long. I think they're going to run this group through. I don't know how many runs they're doing per group, but after they get this group through, we're supposed to break for lunch, so I'm going to suffer. We're going to wait. It's about 1 o'clock here. This was an interesting old machine to see out here. I'm sure it's very heavy and probably not very nimble, but it's kind of cool to see somebody bring something like this out here, even if it isn't the fastest car out here. I've always emphasized that, you know, whatever you got out to autocross is still fun all the same. My arms are starting to get to me already. We're gonna get a little bit shakier. Yeah, appreciate all you guys coming in, hanging out. Definitely already seeing more people in than what we did last time, so hopefully part of that's due to getting a little bit better quality broadcast coming through. Yeah, it does sound good. Does all the right things. It's like the got a 93 Camaro C28 that I've got also, and it kind of bought it to see what everybody was all excited about those cars for, and they're not fast, but man, do they make right noises when you press the the right pedal. They sound nice. At least with exhaust on them, man. I got an issue with the ones where they don't have any exhaust on it whatsoever. I was trying to figure out what was going on there. I don't know if he was pointing the cone down or if he just kind of got lost. We're walking through to check it out, I guess. Today's the kind of day, it's a decent day out, so I figure they'll probably do fun runs even after we're done. But I believe you got to actually participate in the rest of the event in order to do the fun runs. I mean, that way they know your car's been through tech and all that sort of thing also. Car's fun to drive, that's all that matters. Driving should be fun if at all possible. I agree very much so with you. I think as far as making driving fun, it's kind of what you make of it, though. I've been joking about, since the Miata is having its fair share of issues right now, about going and getting a Prius and autocrossing that and seeing what I can beat in a Prius. I think that would be fun. God, I'm shaky right now. I apologize, guys. I'm actually working on establishing a business here based on all the media production and everything I do for here and YouTube and all that kind of thing. And once I get that all set up, I'll probably buy a gimbal for the phone. That way, I'll buy a phone mount. It's got a GoPro attachment on it. I don't know. We'll have to figure out exactly how I'm going to do it. Definitely want to stabilize the phone a little bit better. It's driving me nuts how much everything's shaking. Little Jaggy type running through. Sorry, Mike. It's kind of an uncommon car to see. It's Mike Salser out on course right now. That E-Type's been up here to watch a couple of times now. So there was an Elise kind of hanging out in the parking lot earlier, so I got a text message and it was kind of hard to see what was going on the screen. Going on there. How's it going? Good, how are you? Not too bad. The tripods for dirt cheap. Got a mini one for under $10 on Amazon. Yeah, the mini would be a little closer to the ground. Well, I guess since it stopped right here, if you guys wanted to see the E-Type a little bit more. Feel bad, probably should be. Am I hard to follow at all? I've got car ADD right now because this just parked right next to me. So, you guys wanted to take a little peek around that. These cars, I never really saw them much for around for cars and coffee. They do exist in the area. They just, most of the stuff like this kind of seems like it hides. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of old American cars around here, and kind of a little less common to see the old sports cars. I guess this kind of thing would probably bring them out a little bit more, though. That's what we've been trying to draw with cars and coffee a little bit more, but yeah. See, I've got a gimbal for my GoPro, and I've kind of been able to see the difference that makes. If he's lost, keep going, dude. I think we're going for the DNF there. Yeah, I've seen the difference the gimbal made with the GoPro. I'm kind of sold on them being a very necessary thing for better video quality, especially for this kind of thing. Like I say, I mean, just kind of holding your arms up for this while. I mean, or for this long. Kind of been doing. Well, we've been doing 21 minutes already. Kind of works on your arms after a while. You guys probably showed up after this thing, after I walked through and took a look at this thing. It's got a VR6 engine in it. It's got a turbo on it. I think he made his own fastback. Interesting car. Sure you guys get to check it out real quick too. This course, man, there's a lot of really tight corners in here. I was talking to Mike Salser just a little bit ago, and he was talking about the fastest time they've seen on this course so far is 49 seconds. I think the space that they've had to build this course in, he said he thinks it's bigger. I think it might actually be a little bit smaller. I feel like it's smaller. But some of the corners and everything they're throwing in here, like this one down here, you got to go through twice. I think he knocked the cone over, so he carried a little bit more speed through there than what he should have even. But some of the corners on this course are so tight, and it's like we had when we first started autocrossing here. They threw in a lot of really tight corners, and it kind of slowed the cars down a little bit. Really favors, you know, the big horsepower cars, the torque cars, I guess I should say, to get them back out of the corner. But then, I mean, I guess you get stuff like that little slalom right there at the very end. It kind of would favor the car's a little more nimble and changes direction a little more quickly. This is Jack Sampson. Jack's been doing this for quite a while. You know, one thing though, I wish Twitch had like an automotive category. So if you were kind of into car stuff, you could go there. Because I don't know, maybe this would get a little more streamed to IRL right now, which I feel like probably gets buried, especially, you know, with not a lot of people watching. Until you start getting higher up in those rankings, I imagine it's probably easy to get buried underneath everything else. Might be a little more likely to get got drowned out there. Might be a little bit more likely to get noticed if you're doing it under like iRacing or something like that. But that's kind of frowned upon to put it under a category that you're not actually in. So. Carburetor problems.
Next, we got Andrew Holbert.
I'm actually kind of surprised older cars like that don't starve a little more for fuel when they're dealing with all the corners and everything. Because you got, especially the downdraft carburetors like that, I'm sure they got fuel sloshing around inside the bowls, and it's probably hard to get everything down in the cylinder like it's supposed to be. Of course, you know, back look at some historical racing, there were plenty of cars that ran that same setup and did just fine. Yeah, no, we're kind of stuck with a small course here. When we had the Sears lot back on the other side of the mall here, the course was probably, it was narrower than what we've got right here, but it was longer, I feel like. So they were able to put a couple of straight stretches and that kind of thing. And usually they, instead of doing straight stretches, they did slaloms in the middle of it to kind of keep the speed from getting too high. I wish they would have put, even as a Miata driver, I still wish they would have put a couple of straights in there and give the cars that, you know, need room to stretch their legs a little bit of room to do so. It's like the Porsche that's over in the paddock right now. I mean, it's going to need room to get going. We should be able to catch some runs from it here later also. But yeah, the Sears side of the building up there is, well, Sears is getting removed. I guess they're supposed to be turning it into some kind of like community center type deal up there. So there's construction going on up there right now, and a lot of the parking lot up there is fenced off. Apparently my right hand shakes a lot more than what my left hand does. That's what I get for working on cars. Almost got to hold the phone with both hands in order to steady everything halfway decent like this. So I've got almost a 4,000 kilobit bit rate going on right now at 720/30. Kind of makes me wonder on the Xbox when we limit it back to 2,500. It's got to explain a lot of the random screen looking like it's washing out and all that sort of thing. So I guess if you want to run at 780/30, or sorry, 720/30, gives you a little more of an idea of what to run your bitrate at. Right hand cooperate, please. And now that I'm thinking about it too, I think the last autocross we did up here, the longest stream that I did for it was 25 minutes long, so we're already running a longer stream than what we were last event. I'm going to get into my phone settings here in a minute and figure out I can't stream it all later. Try to cover more of this though. I need to just suck it up and do the unlimited data plan and get it over with. Right now I've got 8 gigs a month, and I think I'm already at like almost 2. Granted, we're getting toward the end of the month here, so, but today's going to eat up so much of that, and probably more. I meant to look and figure out what kind of rollover I had left still too. Made that mistake of not looking. I'm doing this through Streamlabs. The Twitch app that I had on the phone, I was streaming through that before. This is my first time going through Streamlabs, and I think the quality is a lot better. It may have very possibly been that I just needed to adjust quality settings in Twitch, and it may have worked just fine. But I was watching another person, I was watching Team Double D, Danny. She had actually streamed through Streamlabs, and I figured it looked a lot better than what a lot of my broadcasts did, so it kind of brought me to give that a shot. Cargo, there it is. When I normally stream off of the PC, I'm going through, I'm actually going through OBS on the PC, so there's a Triumph stopping by. Maybe it was a Triumph. Triumph for an MG1, I always have a hard time telling between the two. Yeah, appreciate that. That was definitely my reason for switching over to Streamlabs, and I think it's probably going to be a little less, probably a little more intuitive to work with also. I mean, that was one of the initial setup questions it was asking, hey, what resolution do you want to stream at, which, you know, what kind of frame rate, and I know this phone is capable of all the way up to 4K 30 or 1080 60, so if I do switch over to an unlimited package and this phone is capable of processing it, I might try to switch over to like a 1080 60 even, and see what kind of frame rate we get there, because we're maintaining a pretty steady 30 here at 720. I might have to do 1080 30 because we're asking a phone to both process and upload all at the same time. And well, I guess I'm not recording here. Has a lot more features and better quality. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. I know Twitch, I remember seeing settings for adjusting the bitrate, but I don't know if it would have actually automatically scaled quality. Kind of interesting. Two pastel yellow cars, both British, parked beside me here now. Yeah, as far as the features, I mean, I like its chat integration and everything a lot better so far too. Kind of interesting, the matchup and color and everything on those. And then of course we got a yellow car out on course right now too, so apparently it's yellow hour at the Autocross right now. Cone down in front of him. Never mind. It's on the other side of him. Kind of interesting because they're not doing a full stop box. I don't understand why I stopped there for that long. This breeze we're getting right now is nice. It's supposed to reach like 86 or 87 today. It's a great day to come out and run this kind of thing. I've got the windows up in my car and everything, so I'm probably going to regret it whenever I go back to get lunch here later, but gonna be cooking inside that car. It's silver, so I mean it's decent at repelling heat, but right now it's just like a big greenhouse. I missed it. Okay. Heard at that time it is a Chevelle. 67 is what they said. I was guessing. A little bit. Getting better with some of the older American cars. I don't know. Growing up, they always kind of all looked the same to me, and it was kind of hard to tell the difference. And it's interesting, you know, some of the older guys, they can go, well, you see this little difference in the molding right here? That's a so-and-so year. But I didn't figure this was quite long enough to be the... it's definitely not long enough to be an Impala. So just kind of doing an educated guess there and figuring it was probably a Chevelle. added a little distance to make the turn wider there. I guess that's what you got to do to make it.
Thank you, Andrew Holbert.
Definitely do what you got to do. Okay. No, it is. It's a Chevelle. I heard him over the loudspeaker. It's said it was a 67 Chevelle. Yeah, the Nova was the one I was hoping it wasn't, so I could sound like I knew what I was talking about. If anybody's noticed that. Wind blew that cone over. Still managed to clear it. I think they saw it too. So I like the concept of having those markers in order to make it easier to tell which way you're going on the first one. I think on this lot actually, doing like a pink chalk or something like that, you can probably see that pretty well. Not too long ago there, the one we had last month was very wet, and of course the chalk didn't work there. We still use chalk. But yeah, I guess the wind comes by and it takes that. We had, for the longest time we had buckets holding like that orange netted looking fence up that you'd see at like a county fair or something like that. And the wind would blow, and the buckets didn't have enough concrete in the bottom of them to keep the buckets upright, so it continuously knocked that fence down. So it looks like they've switched to rope for over here. Got some different traffic cones and all that kind of thing. A little bit more sturdy setup, I guess. They had caution tape worked up around most of it, and I know last time, first thing in the morning, like we already had old people blowing through the caution tape and like knocked everything down we had out in the end. So they've been putting signs up out at the end of the course here so that people don't drive through, because normally this outer loop's open. It's interesting because up by Sears they've got the outer loop open and the inner loop closed, whereas up here it's the inner loop's open and the outer loop's closed. Yeah, actually this is good to know, because that's one of the major things that I was kind of dealing with as far as making videos off of this, the live streams and everything here, was that with the Twitch app, the video quality was a lot worse. So I felt like this time I needed to get out and do GoPro more instead of doing so much with the stream. But if the video quality is actually running at 720/30 right now, I think at the very least we can make a decent video out of that. Before, I mean, it was super blocky, you couldn't even tell what the cars were. I know 720 is not the best, but hopefully it makes it a little better. We've got pretty good cell phone coverage in the area here. I'm on LTE right now, so I think if I switch up to a unlimited plan, we might be able to do 1080 as long as the phone will handle it. Of course, that's 4G. As far as I know right now, 5G is still limited to Chicago. And if they actually did 5G in the area here though, and we could upload streams from this, I'm switching to 1080/60 and we're having fun. I think 720 looks bad at all. Yeah, especially for a mobile stream. For what we're asking to the phone right now, I'm very happy with 720. What I'm streaming off right now is a OnePlus 5T. So it's it's a pretty stout little phone. It's got a Snapdragon processor and everything like that in it. It's whenever I bought this phone, it was about the same time the iPhone 10 had just come out. This phone was maybe, you know, a step or two down off of what the iPhone had in a lot of different categories. So, but my thing was that I paid $600 for this phone instead of $1,000 for an iPhone. So, I mean, as phones continue to get more and more complicated, I'm sure the prices are going to continue to go up, and eventually I'm going to have to pay $1,000 for a phone, but I'm not quite ready to yet. And if you can't tell, I switched over to my right hand. Trying. I mean, if I'm just plain recording off the phone, then I prefer to shoot in 1080-60, because whereas you aren't able to center up the video quite as much in post, I do like the 60 frames per second. I don't know, just the extra smoothness of it all gives it a lot more realistic kind of feel. I feel like we're dropping a couple frames here and there. Gets a little slide showy, but for the most part, it looks like we're hanging right at 30. So I'm kind of wondering if we switch up to 1080, if it won't get a much lower frame rate here. Oh, man. Just yawned. It's probably about time for some more coffee. Savvy, hopefully you're enjoying yours. Hey, what's going on? Let's try 1080 for a minute to see the difference. Maybe I can do it a real short bit of it here in a little bit. I don't know if I can change on the fly here, and honestly I'm not as familiar with the program yet, so I don't want to stop because I don't know how long it's going to take me to find it. In the time that it actually takes me to switch qualities here, they might be done with this group. We're 42 minutes in, and I'd say I probably started about 15 minutes late anyway, so we got to be close to the end of the runs for this group, I'd imagine. What were you saying?
Oh, no, I didn't even know that there was Autocross.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's our birthday party today, so we're shopping a little bit.
Okay. I kind of got a late start to today, so I was a little late getting out here anyway. I didn't tweet out that I was going to be streaming any of this or anything. Like, I didn't put it in Discord, so we're just kind of going about as natural as it gets as far as views right now. I'm streaming.
Yeah. Oh, you're streaming?
Yeah, and actually it's going in 720 right now, and everybody's saying it looks a lot better than what it did on the Twitch app. I'm actually going through Streamlabs right now. I'm gonna have to see what kind of data I'm burning up.
Ooh, yeah. We have 8 gigs.
Yeah. I was just saying earlier, I need to suck it up and put us on unlimited. I think it's like an extra $30 a month to put both of us on unlimited.
This track looks like they got a fun course today.
It's definitely a lot tighter than what they ran up on the Sears side, but also I think yeah, Tom I think is the one that set up the course here this time, and last time it was mostly Connor setting up the course. Missed it. Well, he hit the gate, so he's still in. He's not DNF'd yet. He just takes the penalty for the cone.
Okay, never mind. It's longer than I thought it was.
Yes, DRS is saying on mobile 720 is looking really good. That's if it's coming through as clear as it is on my phone, 720 is definitely a lot better than what we had previously. It was weird though, because on the Twitch app, like, it looks good when you're recording, but when you actually go to like play back the original video, it doesn't look as good. But yeah, you saying 720 looks good on mobile, like, you definitely would have been able to tell. PC is looking good also. That's awesome. Okay.
Do you know when the next one is?
The next Autocross, they've been doing third Saturday of every month. I don't have the date right offhand, and I know it was either, I don't know if this is the 4th Saturday of this month or if it's the 4th Saturday of next month. One of them's the 4th because the month starts on Saturday. So to give it a little more time, they did the 4th Saturday. Wonder if it's like I was saying earlier, if the fuel's running around in the bowl and making it hard to. Nah, it's carbureted. Just give it a second. I guess it's one of the nice things about side draft. You can run through corners like that and it doesn't really.
I still really want to take my car out and run eventually before it ends up shit in bed.
Yeah. Well, you need to get your wheel bearing and everything fixed first because they'll actually.
Oh, yeah.
They'll throw you out in tech for that.
That and still vibration on the right side a little bit, so I gotta fix that for a little bit.
That might be the wheel bearing. Switch app seems really hit and miss on what the audience sees compared to what the broadcaster sees. That's exactly what I was running into too. I mean, it looked a lot better on my phone than what it did when I actually brought it back up on PC. So I would be surprised if we were running even a 420.
It's probably compressing the hell out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Twitch app, like I was talking about earlier, you can. I think the Twitch app gives you an option for what. Well, it gives you an option for what bitrate you want to stream at, but it doesn't. I never saw any options for what pixel density and what frame rate you wanted to stream at. So I don't know if it would automatically scale when you scale the bitrate up, or if it would leave you just kind of there with the same quality, but you know, a little more stable stream where you know it didn't turn blocky like it did when I was moving the phone back and forth previously. Yeah, from what I can tell, it does look like it's pretty stable. I mean, I feel like through Streamlabs, I'm seeing probably what you're seeing a lot more because I'm getting, you know, the random here and there kind of frame drop. And it's taking it a couple seconds to catch up, but yeah, this is definitely much more stable than what it was previously because like I would turn the phone and you know, everything would turn to blocks. And you definitely couldn't tell what any of the cars were. You could barely tell what color it was. And this is... We're already seeing much better quality out of this. Did he get the cone? He got the cone.
Yep. Is it better on this side over here than it was over by JC's?
There's a lot of potholes in this lot, and they're kind of having to work around them. If they didn't have to do that, I bet you this course would probably be a lot quicker. But I mean, you can see, like, even right over here, there's some real big ones in the middle of it. And this lot's needed repaved for a while, and they're starting to do it here and there. The pavement up on the Sears side was nice. The part of the paddock up there where we were at was repaved, but I think they're doing it in small sections here and there. I mean, I know the management of the mall knows it's coming. It's recently been bought out by a different group here. I think Worthington Holding Group is the name of it or something like that. But yeah, I mean, as far as like taking care of cars and coffee and all that sort of thing, I mean, that's kind of put me in contact with the general manager of the mall now. So that was interesting. And actually, I don't know if we end up looking around here and you guys see the guy going around the golf cart, that's him. That's Jody. I think it scales different weird. The Twitch app, no matter the bit rate, especially for something like this, it streams at different bit rates, I feel. Yeah, that's I think that's probably what we were experiencing as I turned the phone and we were looking out into the course. I mean, here I can see the difference in the color in the pavement. Like, you can see where the asphalt's in between all the gravel and everything. And previously, it would just turn it all into one kind of middle of the road kind of color, and it looked like maybe we went from 480 when we were sitting fairly still, maybe down to 360 or even 240. I don't know. It didn't look good. It looked like poop. Looks like somebody pooped on the screen. Past ones were difficult at times. Yeah. Savvy was talking about on the last one, like she was dropping a lot of frames. Now, if what I was able to play back, like I download all my previous broadcasts because I plan to make videos out of them sooner or later. If that was any indication, I don't think we were dropping a lot of frames, but it was typical the very low pixel density. Yeah, no, it's a real small group at this one. There are 16 entries for this one. Yeah.
Their last one.
Yeah, they were maxing registration at 75 or 80. I can't remember which, and we were within like 5 cars with the first one they did here. I think the novelty of it around here is kind of worn off. That's part of it. I know, like a lot of our guys that normally show up here are also kind of out this weekend. What was it? Keith's at the Forest Rally right now. Connor's down at Hyperfest. Luke McGrew's down at Hyperfest, which wouldn't surprise me if that's where. Oh man, another one of the Miata guys up here. I can't think of his name right now. But he's probably down there also. Who else did we have? Zach's daughter's having a birthday party today, so Todd's there also because their daughters are like best friends. So that took those two out also. So I mean, we're losing at least. We could have had it, up over 20, which I don't think would have been a terrible turnout for autocross, especially considering, it's for members. I think it's like $35, and then if you do it as a non-member, it's $45, including your weekend registration. And if you do it at the gate, they charge you $5 more either way. So I mean, considering you have to pay for this, and knowing what we had for Cars and Coffee turnouts, I don't think in the mid-20s would be horrible. See, it would go decent, then drop the quality bad at times, then back to normal. Yeah, and that definitely came back whenever whenever I played that back. It was very noticeable. Do you know? All right. Yep. See you. Where's you? Little brother was hanging out back here. I guess he said it's his girlfriend's daughter's birthday also, so they're out shopping right now. See his car here right offhand. He's got a 06 Sentra SER, and I was actually kind of surprised by what kind of power those cars make. Like, they're up close to 200 from the factory. We need to use the QR25. They're 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, which is a big 4-cylinder. I thought we were doing okay with the PT Cruiser 2.4 being a pretty big displacement engine, but the Sentra has a 2.5, or the SER does at least. This is a spec V also, so it's had a very nice trim package on it. Now with the PT Cruiser 2.4 makes like 150 horse, I think, which is about what the 2.0 Dual Cam 2.0 made in the Neons. The Neons just had less torque. I think the PT Cruiser was also around 150 foot-pound of torque. But then, of course, I mean, your gearing and everything you have plays into that so much. The first Neon that I had a 355 final drive transmission in it, and the heavy-duty transmission you had in the Neons was a 394. So I mean, there was a big difference in gearing to go between those two different there's two different transmissions. Sound of an E-Type taking off. Off to my son's soccer game. Good stream. Much better quality. Totally fun watching. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Enjoy your son's soccer game there. With it being Saturday, it seems like everybody's got something to get into. So, yeah, I appreciate all the compliments, man. And, you know, kind of giving me the idea that this is working out a lot better. I appreciate you hanging out, man. Hopefully it wasn't too shaky.
Jack finishes with a 51.028. Next, we got Dan Tanner, 57 to go.
Stay longer if I could, digging at something different. That's awesome. That's something that I've been trying to do more of, is actual like IRL live stream type stuff, because I don't know if you've noticed or not, I haven't had a whole lot of time to do like gaming stuff lately. Whereas I think gaming does probably a little bit better on Twitch. I do enjoy my car stuff and all that sort of thing a lot more. And I'm kind of hoping, you know, this kind of content's what can kind of set me apart from everybody else a little bit more. Personality-wise, I think I find it a lot easier to be funny when I'm not on stream than when I am on stream. It's kind of weird how that works, but yeah, no, I wanted to do this. I wanted to do like some engine building stuff, but of course the spot in the garage where we're at there, I don't get very good phone reception, and actually I couldn't even stream on the Twitch app, so kind of makes me wonder just how bad it would be with this app. But yeah, no, definitely something different. I'm hoping people see this. maybe we can get a few more people in here on this kind of thing. This is going to be once a month also until I think October. I think it's the last one I go in October and November. So I nailed it on the head with the category option would help reach more. Yeah. Nailed it on the head. Yeah. So if Twitch would be so gracious as to put an automotive section in, that would be great. Because I know I've seen other people do like streams of working on motorcycles and that kind of thing. Also, we need a vehicle section or something. You know, would be really cool. I need to do a little more digging around. Maybe if I can find a way to browse around in different categories a little bit more, maybe that'll help. Hey, thanks again for hanging out, DRS. Appreciate you, man.
And your finishes with a 61.921. Up next, we've got Michael Salazar.
Kind of wish they'd give it a little more gas going across the finish line there. I feel like people are losing time there. I know it's kind of risky in the older muscle cars, but especially when it comes to autocross, man, it can come down to hundreds or thousands of a second being your difference in class. I think last autocross, I was looking at the results and somebody was like 4 thousandths off of one another. DRS, thank you for the host. Oh, that's no problem, man. I found that AutoHost is kind of a little weird at times. Like I noticed that, like even when I go live and I'm hosting somebody on my channel, like it takes a little bit longer for my broadcast to come up. So I don't know. I don't think AutoHost is perfect by any means. It's subject to everything else everything that deals with coding and that sort of thing is. I mean, it might be a little bit buggy at times here, picking up on everything. Because I mean, with as many people that stream on Twitch, it's I'm sure it's a busy. I don't want to call it an algorithm, but busy program, I guess you should say. There you heard the Triumph firing up, taking off. But yeah, no, I appreciate it either way. also been on other people's channels too, and Auto Host is interesting in the sense that it'll switch broadcasts back and forth in the middle of broadcasts. Like, I don't know if one starts buffering, it switches back to somebody else's, and then that one starts buffering and it switches back to the one it was at originally. And Auto Host has got some quirks to it, that's for sure. Now to think about it, I think Twitch was set at maybe 2,000 kilobits per second, and we're setting just under 4,000 now, so I'm probably eating up data twice as fast, which would make sense because we've got about twice the pixel density.
David finishes with a 51.182. Clean run. Up next, we got Nicky Wolf for his last and final run of the morning.
Okay. So they were talking about last runs of the morning. It looks like here's still a decent stack of cars coming. The Chevelle looks like maybe it's toward the back there. I can't tell if it's for the cars beyond that or not. There's a pole in the way. And I think I'd like to make some more track events and that kind of thing and be able to live stream more from those also. I know I've got a couple buddies down at Hyperfest right now that would have been cool to catch, and I've got a buddy out at the Southern Ohio Forest Rally that's going on right now. That would have been cool to have caught either of those and been able to stream that too, but with me running Cars and Coffee, I was kind of tied down here this weekend. Cars and Coffee's kind of tapered off and not a whole lot. If we got a decent turnout, you would have thought that today would have been a decent day, and it's very small from what you saw from the backside of the paddock at the very beginning of the broadcast. Cars and Coffee's hurting around here. Which sucks because we just got to move to the mall this year, so now that we've got a better deal going on. And I think when we break for lunch here, I might take a little bit more of an extended break because I've got a bit of talking to a coffee stand inside the mall to do here. Talking about maybe having them supply Cars and Coffee with coffee. Cars and Coffee is better with coffee. I know most places you go, it seems like with Cars and Coffee you end up having to, like they do it somewhere near a coffee shop and you can go in and get the coffee. Traditionally around here, I've had the coffee provided in some sense or another. Now that doesn't mean that there hasn't been months where, you know, we haven't been forgotten or something like that. But at the same time, I mean, we try to. My whole concept with this is that I wanted to make Cars and Coffee a no-cost entry thing because that's how it should be to me. I mean, it should just be bring something worth talking out to it, and you know, show off whatever project you've got going or what you've been having fun with. Shouldn't so much be about whether or not you can afford to do it. I mean, kind of even being in the backyard of our hometown here, this Autocross has had a few people complaining about how much it is to run it, that kind of thing. And I mean, the guys have to pay to keep the club running as it should. Like, they've actually invested quite a bit back into the club this year. All these cones out here are brand new. They bought 200 brand new cones for this weekend here. Which reminds me, I need to go talk to Salsa and see if I can buy one of the old used ones. He's done a pretty cool thing where he took the old cones and they put like the Patrick Star Screaming Face or whatever that has been seen on autocross cones and other places in the internet. He's put that on them, and they're selling those cones for $10 a piece. So you can buy one of the cones with the Patrick Star face for $10 and then support the club also. Pretty awesome fundraiser idea from them. Which is cool. I mean, if they can do stuff like that and then still, you know, try to make the event entry fees a little bit more reasonable, that's awesome too. Because I know he was just talking about also that they got a good donation earlier this morning, and they got 6 new helmets donated to the club. So that's going to be a big help as far as people being able to come out and do ride-alongs and that sort of thing also, and bring passengers and kind of, you know, help share enjoying this with everybody else as well. In case you didn't know, if you wander out to any of your local autocrosses and you're kind of wondering what it's like, and you know, you're kind of worried about dipping your feet in the water, you can always show up to one, find somebody that's driving a car you like and ask them to ride along, so you can actually kind of go out on course with them and kind of get an idea of what it's like to drive an autocross, how quickly the cones come up on you and everything like that. And kind of, if you get in with somebody that's, you know, a little more experienced, you can kind of watch, you know, their hand movements and how they handle the car, especially when you find somebody that's good in a car that's similar to yours. Obviously, Miatas are quite a staple at this kind of thing. Surprisingly enough, there's not a lot at this one. This is kind of like a Corvette club, more or less. Very, very Corvette heavy club. Which is another car that gets used quite a bit in autocross. As far as like on a national level, they seem to do pretty well. Actually, one of the best autocrossing videos I can recommend you to. If you're trying to kind of figure out how to do it a little bit more, I guess. Figuring out how to drive better at autocross. Tom O'Gorman has a video at the Wilmington Airport in Cincinnati of him driving a black C5 Corvette. And it's kind of set up over top of the driver's window, so you can see down inside the car, and you can also see like where the car's positioned at on the cones on the left-hand side. But you can like see Tom flicking his hands back and forth, like trying to catch. They're at an airport, so I mean it's a very high-speed course in comparison to this. Very, very different setup from what we've got here. Let's see, what do we got? Maybe 3 more cars after Mike here. So we're looking at probably about an hour and a half per session. So hopefully I've got enough data left to catch one more session here. If I haven't run over already. Like I said, I think we'll be okay here. When we were streaming the last autocross here, we didn't use it up too fast. Of course, I was streaming a lot smaller bits too. Actually, I might be pretty close to like what we had, the entirety of what we had streamed last time with streaming this one group. But it's a lot easier to sit here and stream longer when it's not raining.
Mike finishes with a 53.0.5. Unfortunately, that was his ninth run, so that's not count.
If you guys caught that or not, Mike just did his 9th run. It's funny. Must be on his 9th run also. You can't, you know, fault those guys for that. It's easy to lose track of how many runs you've got right on course like that. Okay, so are all these guys? It's maybe a 9th run for this guy also. Sure who all we've got left. we got the Boss Mustang. Looks like he's pulling up to the line. Or is he turning around? They might have just backed him up a hair. Looks like he's going to
Now
run.
we've got Joe Flowers for his final run.
Oh, the other thing I meant to mention, like I'm thinking as soon as I get this business set up here, we'll be able to do a lot more live streaming in car.
I'm going to rerun, but we started when it started. Or kind of when it stopped.
Okay, so they forgot to trigger the timer from where the other cars had driven through the start but not the finish. So we're going to see that Mustang one more time. Okay. Pretty sure the Chevelle's done. Not sure what all we got left here. I'll go up this way and see if we can't see it from a little different angle here. Good way to spin your brake, I guess.
It's warm.
A little bit, especially inside the helmet.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd say we got 3 more cars left here.
Andrew finishes his morning out with a 60.037. Up next, we've got Jack Sampson with his final run. And then on deck, we've got Joe Flowers for his final run.
2 more cars, guys. There's a couple of cars running through. A couple passers-by. Let me stop up on the other end there.
Jack finishes the morning with a 51.477, but a +2. Up next, we've got Joe Flowers for his final run.
Probably should have come up here a lot earlier. A better spot, it seems like. I was kind of afraid the trailer was going to be in the way of the far end of the course down there, but it doesn't seem too bad from right here. Should be the final car.
Joe finishes out with a 51.751. I think that's a +1, unfortunately.
Alright guys, I think that's it for the morning runs here. They're going to break for lunch, so we're going to go ahead and cut the stream for now. I'm going to figure out where I'm at on data. Hopefully I'm not over yet, and we can do a little bit more here in the afternoon.
Alright, we're going to take an hour-long lunch break.
So we will catch you guys here again in a little bit.
3:15.
Thanks for hanging out in the meantime, everybody that's been here. Appreciate you guys coming in. Thanks guys.